Hello, my name is Christina Al-Shabani, and I will be doing my EBP presentation on analogy-based phonics. What is a phonic analogy? According to Thomas G. White, analogy-based phonics is the aim to teach students to use words they know to decode words they do not know. Phonics analogies can be applied when words share similar parts in their spelling. It is a systematic approach to teaching reading when a planned set of phonics elements is taught sequentially. This may include common spelling patterns, initial consonants, digraphs, and blends. Phonics analogies are planned and tactical through the use of teacher modeling. In my lesson I will be presenting to you today, I will be using the I do, you do, we do approach. Analogy-based phonics evolved from the work of P.M. Cunningham around the year 1975. Analogy-based phonics also evolved from the original benchmark word identification program, which helps students with reading disabilities decode and learn new words. Analogy-based phonics is also known as onset rhyme or rhyme-based instruction. An onset is the initial consonant or consonant blend at the beginning of a word. A rhyme is the ending segment of a word, begins with a vowel, and includes all the following letters of that syllable. A study was done by Elizabeth Grace Finnegan. The effects of two systematic methods of phonics instruction for children with severe cognitive disabilities were compared. During Finnegan's study, in the analogy phonics treatment condition, participants learned sounds of consonants by combining a visual rhyme with common letter sound correspondences. Participants learned to read words with similar patterns. Significant effects were found on the measure of training word identification for both synthetic and analogy phonics treatment groups compared to the control group. In conclusion, students who received phonics analogy or systematic phonics outperformed those who did not. Another study was done by Thomas G. White. White studied the effects of systematic and strategic analogy based on second grade students' word and reading comprehension. White found 4 pillars of evidence for rhyme-based instruction. The 4 pillars of evidence. For most children, the ability to divide spoken syllables at the onset rhyme boundary emerges before the ability to divide consonant cluster onsets or rhymes into their component phonemes. Beginner readers are able to make analogies between spelling patterns and words when provided with a clue word. It is easier to make analogies between spelling patterns than decoding letter by letter. And vowel pronunciations are more consistent and stable within particular spelling patterns. In conclusion, the study suggests that analogy-based phonics instruction can be effective for low and normally achieving second grade readers when it is systematic, strategic, and implemented as part of a balanced literacy program. Now that I have established what phonics-based analogies entail, as well as the history and research behind it, I will now present to you an example lesson that can be used in an inclusive kindergarten through first grade classroom. At the beginning of the lesson, it is important to use an attention or cue signal to get the student's attention. For example, you can stand at the front of the classroom and clap your hands in a sequence that will by that point be familiar to the students. The students will clap the same sequence back, indicating they are ready to listen. At this point of the school year, students will know the alphabet, the sounds of each letter, as well as 2-letter vowel consonant words. For example, it, at, on, and in. Students will be taught how to divide single-syllable words into onsets and rhymes. It is not necessary for students to know the definition of an onset and rhyme as terminology. Rather, they comprehend the concept for each and have the ability to manipulate the sounds. Before beginning the lesson, I will review with the students their sight word sheet and review 2-letter words that they have learned prior to this lesson. I will remind them of vowels versus consonants and inform them that we will be adding to our knowledge by learning 3-letter words. Okay, students, I want you to look up here at the overhead projector. I'm going to place my 3 cards that have 1 letter on them down the left side of the projector. On the right side, I am going to have the card with 2 letters placed over here. To warm up, I'm going to practice the sounds that the letters on the left side make. There is a C, and the C makes the K sound. Then we have the H makes the H sound. And below that is the B that makes the B sound. Now, I'm going to look over at the right side of the projector where I have the index card that has 2 letters written on it, AT. I know the A makes the sound and the T makes the T sound. So if I put them together, I have at. Now, I'm going to take my right hand and drag the at card over to the C card. Place them next to each other. I am going to sound out the C sound, and right after, I am going to continue and sound out the at sound. So we have C, A, T. That's K, at. At. Does anybody know what word I am trying to sound out? At. Cat. Yes, that is correct. That is the word we just created. Cat. Okay, boys and girls, now that we have our cards all ready, and I just showed you how to do the first word, we're going to move on to the second word, and we're going to do this one together. Just like we did the first time with the letter C, let's now practice the sound the H makes together. H. Ha. Can we all say it together? Ha. Okay, now can someone raise their hand and tell me what we do next? Yes, we move the at card on the right side over to the letter H. Now that we have our letters next to each other, let's begin making the sounds to create the word. At. Let's all say it together. At. At. Let's pick up the pace. Say it a little faster. Hat. Hat. Does anybody know the word we are trying to sound out? Yes, that is correct. The word hat. Okay, boys and girls, now that we have learned 3 new words to add to our sight word sheet, I want you to take out your sight word sheet from your folder and add the words we learned today, cat, hat, and bat. After you are finished writing these 3 words on your sheet, I want you to put the sight word sheet back into your folder and take it home with you tonight to practice. I will be walking around, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Okay, boys and girls, to finish our lesson today, we will do one more fun activity to practice your new words. Please take out your colored pencils, and I will be walking around and handing each one of you a sheet of paper. Boys and girls, when you're all settled with your colored pencils and your sheet of paper, please look up at the overhead projector so I know you are ready to continue working. Okay, now that you're ready to move on, what I want you to do with your construction paper and colored pencils is to draw what you think each word means. We will do the first one together. How might we draw the word cat? Do you know what a cat looks like? Do any of you have cats at home? Good, boys and girls. Okay, let's draw a cat together. What should we include? Yes, a cat has a round face. Ears. How many ears? Yes, 2. What do they look like? They're pointy. Eyes, a nose. What else does a cat have on their face? Whiskers, yes. Very good. Okay, now that we've completed the picture and the drawing of the cat, I want you to do and draw to your best of your ability what you think a hat looks like and a bat. I'm sure you each have a hat at home, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen a bat before or played baseball or softball. Yeah, that's what we would use a bat for. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, now that we have completed our activity, I think it is a good idea to share our drawings of the words we learned today. Each one of you will share your drawing and tell us one thing about your drawing. Tomorrow, we will be learning 3 more new words to add to our sight word sheet. And please do not forget when you go home tonight to take your folder home with you and practice the 3 new words you learned today. Have a great day.